This is Lincoln Center in Manhattan, obviously. We've been contracted to re-grout approximately 150,000 square feet of outdoor plaza space. We've got multi-color tiles. You can see on the black tile some of the grout is missing. Also on the light color grout is missing. You'll see here extensive grout is missing. They used a sanded grout which is cracked, and they also used caulk which has failed. Over here on the left-hand side, we've already completed phase one. We did the upper platform area. You can see how the grout is nice and even and clean and uniform. So these are the main steps leading up to Lincoln Center. These steps come off of 9th Avenue. We were contracted last year to do all these steps, as well as the upper platform. There was a $2 billion renovation several years ago at Lincoln Center, and the grout that was used has not held up to their expectations, so they've contracted to have us put in our proprietary methyl methacrylate, MMA for short. Once installed, stays clean and like new, doesn't crack or break down. And after last winter, extensive snowstorms, cleaning, they were very, very pleased. We're going to show you how we cut out the grout. This is all cracked, damaged, sanded grout. It's just falling out in pieces. It's missing everywhere, cracking. This is no good. This is only about 3 or 4 years old. So we cut out the grout with our special machine. So this is our tuck point machine. We can set the blade for any depth we want, for how deep we want to cut it. The machine has a pointer. It's got a vacuum attachment. Goes up to a vacuum hose. There's our vacuum. And now we'll cut the grout out. After the grout is cut out, we take masking tape on either side of the joint. We fill it with a special foam backer rod that's compatible with our methyl methacrylate. We put the backer rod in. And the next step will be, once the backer rod is in, to apply the caulk. We're going to install the caulk now into the joint. So we've got a caulking tube here, hardener on one side, resin on the other. We take off the black tabs, remove it, we screw on the mixing tip, then we load it in the 1-to-1 caulking gun, air operated, because you don't want the guys squeezing with their hand all day. The material will come up through the tube, get mixed, come out the other end. We'll show how that's done. The next step is to take a 1-inch margin trowel, spread the material in so it's even, nice and flush, and we do that to all the joints. And just work the material down as we go, getting nothing on the stone. In weather like this material cures in less than 1 hour. It's about 85 degrees here in New York today. So now we have a nice even flush line, and what we do is we remove all the tape. And we'll get a shot of it. And this section that looking at right now was completed yesterday. So we just keep moving in an fenced off area, and start at one end of the plaza and work down the other. No pedestrians can come in here. It's good to go for traffic the next day. What we'll typically do here at Lincoln Center and other places, we'll fence off an area. The workers will stay inside the area with all the equipment, machines. We'll keep it fenced off. After we're completed, we remove the fence about 3 hours later, and it's open to pedestrian traffic. Again, this material is designed to cure in less than 1 hour, anything above 75 degrees. This was a previously completed section, all the way down to where the trash bin is. Probably about 8,000 square feet we've completed. This phase is approximately 27,000 square feet. This is a section that has not been completed. We'll probably be doing this tomorrow. As you can see, that there's extensive areas missing grout. Even plants are starting to come up through. Grout is cracked. Again, they use a cement grout or a sanded grout, which over time starts cracking and failing. You can see the difference in appearance. This is before. Everything is uneven, grout is missing, cracking, discolored grout. And this is a completed area, which was done last week. You can see the grout is even and uniform looking. No more issues with cracked grout, stained grout, missing grout. You can power wash it, 3,000 to 4,000 PSI, no problem. Winter time, they have big plow machines up here because it's so large. They can plow the plaza, or they can use big snow blowers or brushes, no problem. Caulk holds up. No cleaning chemicals or no ice melt affects this material in the wintertime. This is a piece of cured MMA material. It's actually in the joints. This is a different color. You can see how flexible it is. Very tough, very durable. And that's exactly what's in those joints right now. This is the front entrance to Goldman Sachs World Headquarters. This is one of the areas that will be recaulked in the future. You can see that the grout is missing. It's a cement grout or sanded grout, and how it's degrading down. It's not flush and level, and it's cracked in some places. This is the Vesey Street elevation with Goldman Sachs. This is another area. We're going to be recaulking everything. You see the grout has failed and cracked. Again, it's a cement grout. It cracks over time, so we'll be cutting this grout out and installing Marcoat throughout. And the sidewalk where the pedestrians are walking goes all the way to the West Side Highway. This is the Vesey Street elevation. Goldman Sachs, then the Conrad Hotel. This is still the Vesey Street elevation. You can see that there's missing grout, certain places, cracked. This is the plaza area where the retail stores are, in between the Conrad and Goldman Sachs. This is 11,000 square feet. This was recently completed. You see the grout is even, uniform, no cracking, no breaking. Done on the overnight. This is the plaza in between the Conrad Hotel where we're taking this picture from, and on the opposite side is the rear entrance to Goldman Sachs. This is the plaza looking down. You can see the grout has been removed and replaced with our Marcoat MMA. Everything is even, neat, uniform looking. And this goes from one side of the building all the way to the other side of the building. Several hundred feet, more than the length of a football field. Approximately 14,000 square feet of pavers. We're in the heart of Times Square. There was a major renovation here at Times Square several years ago. They replaced the roadway with these pavers. And what's happening is the grout that they've used has cracked in a lot of places throughout the plaza. We've been contracted wherever there's cracks to put in our Marcoat. They're testing our Marcoat system. So over the next 5 years, as more pavers crack, we're going to be coming in and doing spot repairs. This runs from 42nd Street all the way up to 47th Street. Broadway, what used to be Broadway, is now a pedestrian plaza. Here's some more samples of cracking, and it's a random cracking throughout the plaza. We've got 3 subway lines running underneath right here. A lot of the cracking is due to the subway vibration, which they didn't account for. This is one of our repairs. The grout was all cracked. We cut out the bad grout and put in our Marcoat. And right now it's on an as-needed basis wherever there's cracks. You're seeing a bird's eye view of Times Square between 43rd and 44th Street. This is the outdoor plaza. Tremendous foot traffic, pedestrian traffic. Extremely high visibility. Extreme problems with the grout failing. Marcoat's been hired by Times Square Alliance to repair all the damaged grout on an ongoing basis for the next several years. This is another area that we had to do a patch repair job. Again, it's on an as-needed basis wherever Times Square Alliance tells us to go. This is Duffy Square. It's in the heart of Times Square. This is where they sell the discount Broadway tickets. In 2011, we were contracted by Times Square Alliance to re-caulk the entire Duffy Square Plaza, about 17,000 square feet. They were very satisfied with how the caulk has held up over all these years, and to this day, we still do significant work for Times Square Alliance. There's 3 subway lines that run under here. Extremely heavy traffic, pedestrian, cars, as well as obviously the subways. They had major problems with the old caulk that they had in here and contracted with us after a 8-month test of 2 different areas. After 8 months, 3 seasons, they realized that our material would hold up, and it has over the last nine years almost right now.